Good evening, friends. I am Sakshi Sharma, an education counselor. I welcome you all in the third session of Ask the Expert. So, Ask the Expert is a session which is focused towards undergrad students who are looking for post graduation courses and future for it. So, we understand when it comes to career, you all have many doubts and queries. So, we will be answering all your questions and doubt in this YouTube live. We are the expert. We are having this expert with Mr. Anil Sumani. He is an MBA from IIM Ahmedabad and BTech from IIT Bombay. So his career started with trying groups and also being a vice president of MP Chamber of Commerce and Industries. From 4 decades of experience in different industries like pharma, tourism, automobiles, food and beverages, and education. He started Fostima Business School with the intent of creating pool of managers by sharing his experience and knowledge. Now, Mr. Anil Sumani will be assisting you with all the information you all needed for your career. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Sakshi. You've been very kind and gracious in introducing me and talking about me. And I hope that I am able to do justice to all the MBA aspirants who are coming here today and who want to clarify their doubts. Well, doubts there are plenty because today we are living in an era of opportunities where the opportunities are plenty, and the student is often confused as to which direction he or she should go to. So, if there are any questions, well, yes, I assure you that I will try and answer them to the best of my abilities.
Thank you so much, sir. So we'll be starting with our first question by Mr. Amit. He asks this question. I see that there are various digital marketing certification, and I also see that PGDM course has digital marketing as a core subject. What's more beneficial? Which would be better time investment?
Well, there is always this problem a student will face. So, if you ask me upfront, I would say that, well, yes, digital marketing certification courses are good for you. Definitely, they are good for you. But then the second part of the question says, and you say that you compare it with a PGDM, which also has a digital marketing. So the moment you come to second part of the question, I would say straight away that for a student who's trying to make a good career opportunity and a good career for himself or herself, uh, a PGDM is a better opportunity. See, basically, what happens is that when you specialize and narrow down your path so early in life, then you can only go as high as that digital marketing certification will take you to. And so you can never reach the top in any organization. Whereas if you have a PGDM which has a digital marketing product as a part of its overall package, then definitely you have a better chance of reaching high in the organization. So you have a PGDM, which is a wide, all-encompassing course, and then you also have digital marketing knowledge, which is as a part of your core subject. So definitely that would be a better, between the two, that will be a better option. And this holds good for almost all certification courses. It's always good to add to your knowledge by doing certification courses, but then not and never, I would say, at the cost of a PGDM. PGDM plus certification, good, but a certification minus PGDM, not good, not good at all.
I hope Amit, you got your answer. Moving towards next question. This question is asked by Pranav. He asked this question on Instagram. We have entered the month of July, can I still get admission to an MBA college or is it too late?
Uh, this has been a pandemic year, and because of the pandemic, uh, almost every educational field, right from CBSE onwards and upwards, has had to make some adjustments because of the pandemic. So and we actually completely lost 2 to 3 months from 15th of March onwards till 15th of June to the second wave of COVID, which was severe and which was drastic. So therefore, considering this in mind, the CBSE exams have been cancelled. The considering this in mind, the graduation exams have been postponed. Many uh, universities are doing their graduation exams right now in the month of July. So I would say July is not too late to do an MBA. All admissions, most B schools and good B schools are taking last minute admissions right now and giving last minute admissions to deserving candidates. And I also am a part of a business school, and we also, if there are some good candidates, we can accept them at this point of time. And there is nothing wrong. At this point of time, also in seeking a good MBA or PGDM college. So yes, my answer to you is yes. It is not late. You can even in July.
So, Mr. Pranav, I think now you should start with searching of your colleges. Moving towards next question, we have this question from Ria. So, good evening, sir. What is the eligibility criteria for PGDM course? What involved in the admission process? Is there any flexibility in terms of assessments?
Uh, this is, I don't know whether this is one question or three questions or three questions all in one. So the admission criteria for PGP, any postgraduate program or PGDM course is that you should be a graduate. So that is the first criterion, that you should be a graduate and graduate with reasonably good marks and definitely above 50% in graduation. So this is the basic eligibility as approved by AICTE for PGDM. But if you don't have less than 50% marks, then there are relaxations for in certain categories, which if those some students who are less than 50% marks, they can contact the institute concerned for what the relaxations are. Then there is having crossed this basic eligibility, then there is the admission process. The admission process depends upon institute to institute, and also depends upon how good that institute is. The Indian Institute of Managements conduct the CAT admission entrance examination, for which there are percentile scores of each student who have appeared in CAT. Uh, Once the percentile score is out, the cutoffs of various institutes are known, are made available in the public domain. Like the IIMs normally have cutoffs in the 90s. Then there are other B schools who have cutoffs between 80s and 90s, and so on and so forth. So the cutoffs, and especially say typically for STEMA kind of college, the cutoffs range between 65 to 80 percentile. Now, having said this, the process of admission concerns group discussions, into personal interviews, and the selection process is a sum total of all these factors. So, which has your academic performance in 10th, 12th, and graduation. It has your score in the entrance examinations, which could be CAT, which could be CMAT, which could be MAT also, and then there is the last part is the GD and the PI. So you did ask whether there is any flexibility. Yes, there is some level of flexibility which starts even from the top. Even IIM Ahmedabad have some level of flexibility. They have gender diversity preference. They have um, educational background preference. Like initially, 90% of the seats used to go to engineers at IIMs. So nowadays, they ensure that there is diversity in terms of educational background, there is diversity in terms of genders, there is diversity in terms of people with experience, without experience. So this flexibility and this diversity factor is what brings in flexibility in the admission process. So there are no hard and fast cutoffs and no hard and fast rules in terms of admissions. So I hope this is now absolutely clear that whether there is any flexibility, the answer is yes. The process also has been made clear to you, and the eligibility also clear. So all three questions I have tried to answer together.
Thank you, sir. Moving towards next question. So here we have next question from Vanshika. What's more important while selecting a college between its placement scenario or the regular plus visiting faculties?
Uh, it's very, very difficult to answer this question. Both are important. Huh? So both the placement scenario and the faculty pool are important because you see the MBA, PGDM education in all private colleges, it is an expensive education. The IIMs charge fees as high as 20-25 lakhs, and most business schools charge fee in lakhs. So there's hardly any B school who's charging fees in thousands, and lakhs meaning several lakhs. So it is mostly 5 lakhs upwards, and it goes up to 25 lakhs at the upper end for IIMs. Now, for a student who's spending that kind of money, I mean, for him or her, placement is certainly very important. But having said that, uh, the faculty pool is equally important for making that student placement ready. And for making that student placement ready, the curriculum, the education pedagogy, the faculty pool, all these play a greater role. And I have this belief that if you invest in educating the student, in giving him or her good faculty, good education, good learning, and all the practical exposure, then automatically, whether you provide him or her placement or not, automatically he or she is definitely going to find a suitable place for himself or herself in the corporate world. So the placement becomes secondary, it becomes easy the moment the education part is taken care of. So therefore, if you ask me between the two, between placement and the faculty, I would give higher value to the faculty pool and then slightly lower to the placement, because without the faculty pool, the placement cannot be good. And if the faculty pool is good, placement will automatically follow.
Totally agreed, sir. Totally agreed. So, sir, it's been a third, interaction with you. So, I would like to know that since 15 years you are in this industry and mentoring students. So, from last 2 years, students are getting an education, online education. So, one question from my side to you is, what are the advantages that students that you are interacting personally fields of online education?
So, so what you're basically asking is the comparison of online versus offline education.
Yes.
Is that right? So, both have their own advantages and disadvantages. Online education was earlier considered something which was not considered very feasible for management and especially postgraduate management student. The reason for that is that this is basically not a classroom based instructional education. This is something which comes in more out of uh, discussion, out of practical learning, out of experience sharing, that the learning is provided in the management space, and especially in the postgraduate management space. But then uh, in the last 1 year, online education was thrust upon all institutions because of pandemic. I must say that colleges like ours have used the online mode of education beautifully, use the technology beautifully, try to simulate the physical real life experience as far as possible in terms of providing learning to the students. One very big advantage, before that, I'll say that even the technology platforms like Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Google Talk, and all these platforms, Google Meet, all these platforms have actually risen up to the occasion to provide a medium of instruction through the remote methodology for students who are at distant locations. So the technology has risen up to the occasion, and the colleges also, institutes also have tried to take advantage of the technology and provide and both have adjusted remarkably well in the last 1 year to provide this education to students. Now, the second part, one very big advantage of online education is that neither the student nor the faculty has to be at a given location. Uh, my campus could be in Delhi, but my faculty could be sitting in USA and providing education in the online mode. And the student also need not be in Delhi. The student could be in Timbuktu or in some remote location. So I in Delhi, I'm just a medium where I'm arranging the meeting of both the student and the faculty. The faculty could be sitting somewhere else. The students are sitting at various remote locations. And so this remote reach has become possible by online education, which is a very big advantage. And therefore, students now have access to such amazing faculty pools which they did not have access to earlier. Like we at First Timer, we have faculty sitting in Bangalore, sitting in Chennai, and we have had sessions delivered by faculties sitting in USA. So this is something which was earlier we didn't even think about it. Now the second part is that even after COVID is over, we are going to continue with this, and with the help of technology, we are going to make such people available to our students even in the physical mode. So I think that just like after demonetization, most of us have now gotten used to the digital mode of payments, of UPIs, etc., of the work, Phone Pay, Google Pay, etc. We also will now be adopting the hybrid mode of education, which will be students are on campus, a good number of faculty would interact with them physically, and some lectures where with some really eminent faculty could be from remote and distant locations, maybe sitting as far out as in USA. The other thing, difference between online and offline education is that in the offline education, there is a lot of learning by merely physical interaction inside the classroom, physical interaction outside the classroom. When I say that learning is all the time, learning is from everyone, and learning everywhere. So it's not only inside the classroom that you're learning, it's also outside when you're interacting both with your friends, with your peers, and also with your faculty members. That is important, which is something which the online education is unable to provide. So both have their pluses and minuses, both have their advantages and disadvantages. You can't really say that one is better or the other is better. But then we've been used to the offline mode of education, and almost all the students are actually waiting when the pandemic is going to be over, when they are going to go out into the campus, when they are going to meet their classmates and friends, when are they going to do bonding and networking and make friends for rest of their lives. So all those factors they are missing, which definitely go a long way for the in support in favor of the offline on-campus education.
Completely agreed, sir. Thank you so much. Moving towards next question. Next question is asked by Abhimanyu. What's the average fee of an MBA or a PGDM program? If I want to stay safe with brackets of colleges as per the fee, should I approach?
So the let me say it like this, that I've sort of tried to cover this in one of my earlier answers. So at the top end of PGDM college fees is the IIM which and the ISB Hyderabad, which charge fees close to 25 lakhs for 2 years. And at the bottom is at the real bottom is the IGNOU, which does a 2 year MBA program for merely 6,000 rupees. So imagine this a wide spectrum from 6,000 to 25 lakhs. But then please remember that MBA or PGDM is not about getting a degree. It's more about learning. It's more about skilling yourself. It's more about um, uh, getting life skills, getting corporate performance skills, excelling in the corporate world. So these are actually very, very important in any postgraduate management education. And that's where these PGM to PGDM colleges score over the university programs or the IGNOU kind of programs. So where these practical learnings, a typical college fee are basically between uh, between I would say 6 lakhs to 15 lakhs. And when you're choosing a college, I would suggest that you look very much for the ROI of the college, that which college provides me the best return on my 2 year spend that I do for, and what is the kind of average placement, what is the kind of highest placement, and that will give you the best result.
Thank you, sir. Moving towards next question asked by Gitika. So she asked, good evening, sir. What all the things should I be highlighted in my student CV during the placement times?
Can you repeat this question like once again?
Yeah. So the question is, what all the things should be highlighted in the student CV during the placement time?
All right. Huh? Okay. So all good B schools tell you what should actually be a part of your CV. Now, if there are say 300 students in a business school, there is a fixed format which is provided by the college, that this should be your content of your CV. Now, I tell the students when they come to me that please see, is my CV okay, sir? So I tell them that what is actually important is that that you must bring in a differentiating factor in your CV, which can help the recruiter identify and pull out your CV out of the 100 others who are applying for a given job. So the differentiating factor could be many. The differentiating factor could be your mm, your academic grades, it could be your projects that you have done, it could be your in summer internship that you have done. If some in, that means when I say summer internship that you have done, the extra like work that you have done, that extra mile that you have traveled in your summer internship, the value that you have added to the organization, that you have in your summer internship, the certification courses that you have done in your during your study period, the if you have any work experience, the work experience that you have. So these are the various differentiating factors which you can actually put in your CV, which would make your CV stand out of the regular pattern which is there for the entire college.
Thank you so much, sir. So, students, this is the last question which we are having right now with us. So, else, if somebody's question is not answered, you may can WhatsApp us. I'll be sharing my WhatsApp number with you guys, and you can put your all the queries and questions over there. Okay, so the last question is asked by Akshay. Is clearing an entrance exam compulsory for an admission in PGP course?
So the answer to this is yes, for a good for admission to a good postgraduate college in management, clearing an entrance exam is essential. The entrance exam could be different. It could be CAT for some colleges, it could be CMAT for some, it could be MAT, but then no good PGDM college admits students without an entrance examination. And some of the colleges have their own, like we have our own entrance examination for students who have actually missed out on CAT. So we give them an opportunity through our entrance examination. But then assessment through an entrance examination is necessary, it's a must. And this is followed by a group discussion and an interview for a complete assessment. But then the first part is the entrance examination.
Okay.
I hope the student is clear on this.
Yes. So, okay, students. So we are done with today's session. I hope you all guys get all the answers from sir. So for the next session, we'll be coming soon. You make and noted my number so that if you have any queries or doubt, you can pin up and yes, can contact us. So kindly note it down the number. It's 9811 3541 51. So you can contact on this number. Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, sir. It was nice pleasure talking to you. Thank you, sir.